The medal ceremony was quiet, formal, and polished like every military event. Rows of officers stood shoulder to shoulder in their uniforms, faces still, eyes forward. The air held the weight of silence, broken only by the sound of boots on marble and the occasional rustle of medals against chest. Commander Reed Morgan stood at the center of it all, freshly promoted and decorated for valor in a mission no one could talk about. He had been through combat, lost good men, seen enemies and allies die alike. Nothing moved him anymore. That's what people said. He was the cold one, the focused one, the machine. But all of that shattered in a second. Just as the national anthem faded, Reed's eyes wandered through the audience out of habit. Faces blurred into one, families of soldiers mostly, some press, some VIPs, and then he saw her. She was young, maybe mid-20s. She stood silently in the third row from the back, wearing a plain blue hoodie with sleeves pushed up. But it wasn't her face that stopped Reed in his tracks. It was the tattoo on her wrist. A simple, black line that curled into a triangle, split at the center with 3 dots. Reed felt his throat tighten. He knew that tattoo dot. He had seen it once before. In the jungle, painted in mud and blood on a dying soldier's arm. A soldier named Private Eli Graves. Eli had been more than just a soldier. He was one of Reed's 5-man unit during the Shadowfire operation, an off-the-books mission gone horribly wrong. They were ambushed, betrayed, and only 3 came back. The official report claimed Eli was lost during extraction. But Reed remembered the last moment vividly. Eli lying against a tree, clutching his bleeding stomach, whispering something. "She come looking for me." Reed had never forgotten that line. He'd buried it deep, like everything else. But now, standing, in full dress uniform, with cameras watching, Reed froze. The colonel standing beside him noticed. "Commander, step forward." But Reed didn't hear. His boots moved on their own, leaving the row of officers, walking straight toward the crowd. Security stepped in, confused. Reed pointed. Let her through." The girl looked startled. Her eyes went wide, scanning the faces turning toward her. She hesitated, then slowly stepped forward as security parted the crowd. Whispers echoed all around. A high-ranking SEAL commander stopping a public ceremony for a stranger. Unheard of. Reed stood in front of her now. "Where did you get that tattoo?" The girl blinked. "It was my brother's." "What was his name?" "Eli Graves." A chill ran through Reed's body. He didn't show it. Not yet. His training wouldn't allow it. "Come with me," he said. It wasn't a request. They exited, through the side of the ceremony hall, past the polished walls and waiting press. The girl, still confused but firm, followed without complaint. They ended up in a small debriefing room 2 floors below the main hall. The air was cold and quiet. Reed sat across from her, elbows on the table. "What's your name?" "Maya. Maya Graves." "You said the tattoo was your brother's." She nodded. "He drew it when we were kids. Said it would be our symbol. Family first. I got it inked the week after he died." "You were told how he died?" They said training accident. No body recovered. No explanation. She reached into her small backpack and pulled out a leather-bound journal. It was worn at the edges, corners curled from age. "He sent this to me. I wasn't supposed to open it unless something felt wrong." Reed stared at it. His fingers twitched, hesitating. Then he took it. The pages were filled with writing, messy, panicked, real. Some of it was coded, but much was clear. Eli had been scared. He had suspected something. Names were mentioned. Dates. One entry stood out. "If I don't make it back, find the commander. Tell him the radio logs were fake. And tell him the man in the shadows isn't who he seems." Reed's hands shook slightly. He closed the book and looked at her. "Why now? Why bring this here today?" "I didn't know you'd be here," she said. "I didn't even know your name. I've been going in circles. No one answers my letters. They told me to move on. My parents don't talk about him anymore. They say I'm obsessed." Her eyes glistened. "But I had to do something. I started looking into who was on his last mission. I found a leaked report, redacted, but your name was there, barely visible." She pulled up a blurry screenshot on her phone. Reed's name, half censored. "I came to see if the man who led him into that jungle even remembered him." "I remember," Reed said quietly. Maya looked down. "Then help me find the truth. Please." Reed stood up. For a moment Maya thought he would walk away. But instead he opened a secure locker in the wall and pulled out a thin manila folder. Laid it on the table. "These are the names of the 5 men who went in. 3 came out. 1 died in the crash. Eli was listed as Kia, body unrecoverable." He paused, but there was no crash. Maya's eyes widened. "What?" "There was an ambush. In enemy territory. We were set up. Someone leaked our location. It wasn't just an accident. It was planned." He pulled out a photo, old and faded. 5 men, arms around each other, smiling. But the 5th face, Elias, was missing. Literally, cut out of the photo. "Why?" Maya whispered. "Why erase him?" "That's what I intend to find out." A knock on the door broke the silence. It was Sergeant Doyle. "Sir, you're needed upstairs. The brass is furious." "Let them be." As Doyle left, Reed turned back to Maya. "I'm going to take you to someone. He was there too. He might know more, but you can't tell anyone, not yet. They buried this for a reason." Maya clutched her brother's journal tightly. Okay. Later that evening, they drove together in a plain black SUV. No insignia, no military tags. The city gave way to empty roads, and finally to a quiet cabin near the mountains. Inside lived Owen Rain's former SEAL, retired early due to PTSD. No one talked to him. No one visited Dot when he saw Reed at his door. He didn't smile. You shouldn't be here. I need to ask about Graves. Owen's face went still. Reed stepped aside, showing Maya she's his sister. Owen stared at her for a long moment, then opened the door. Dot inside. Owen lit a fire and sat with his back to it. I still see him sometimes. In dreams he was the youngest, didn't deserve what happened. Tell her, Reed said. Owen sighed. Your brother found something in that jungle. A site, not enemy hours, but off the books. He said it had crates marked with symbols, American, and something else. He tried to report it. Next thing we knew, we were ambushed. 2 choppers came. Only one was ours. He paused. Eli stayed behind to cover us, said he'd buy time. But when we got back, the report already said he died in an accident. Like they wrote it before it happened. Maya's hands clenched. You knew this, and you let it happen. I was scared, Owen said, ashamed. They warned me. Said my family wouldn't be safe. I ran. Reed looked at Maya. We're going to find the rest of them, and we'll find that site. Just then, Maya's phone buzzed. A message? Unknown number. It was a photo of her, taken that morning. Standing outside the ceremony hall, no caption, just the image. Her hands trembled. Someone's watching. Reed took the phone, eyes hard. It started, he muttered. Maya whispered. Started what? Reed met her gaze. War, but not the kind with guns. He stood, grabbing his keys. Come on, we're going underground. As they stepped outside into the night, Maya looked back one last time at the cabin, her brother's journal in hand. A cold wind passed. Somewhere deep in her bones, she felt that she was finally closer to the truth. But she had no idea how deep the darkness would go. The road ahead was empty and silent. Trees rushed past the black SUV as Reed drove deeper into the forest, the headlights cutting through the darkness like blades. Maya sat beside him, her brother's journal gripped tightly in her lap. She hadn't spoken much since they left the cabin. The message, the photo still echoed in her mind. Someone was watching her. Even now, even in the middle of nowhere. Reed finally broke the silence. What else is in the journal? Anything about the site Owen mentioned? I don't know, she said, voice soft. Most pages are just thoughts. But there are codes, shapes, coordinates, I think. Eli loved puzzles. He said the world made more sense when he broke it into symbols. Reed nodded. He was sharp, too sharp for the mission they gave us. Maya looked at him. What happened to the other one? You said 3 came back. You, Owen, and Reed's jaw tightened. He didn't answer immediately. Captain Jonas Deeks, he said finally. He took a desk job after the mission. Never spoke about it again. Said he wanted to forget. Can we talk to him? Reed hesitated. If he'll talk? Last I heard, he's stationed at Fort Harland. Then let's go there. It's not that easy. He has protection, clearance. That base isn't open to visitors. Maya opened the journal again, flipping to the center. There's a page here. It's torn at the edge, but there's something. She pointed at a symbol, a triangle with 3 dots. And underneath it, a word trident. Dizanavi Reed's face paled. What is it? Maya asked. He didn't answer right away. He pulled the car off the road and parked behind a line of trees. Then he turned off the engine and faced her. Trident 19 isn't a place. It's a mission tag. Black level? Not supposed to exist. Only 2 people in our unit ever mentioned it, Deeks and Eli. Maya's heart pounded. Then Eli knew about this before he died. Reed nodded, and that makes him dangerous. Even now. They stayed in the forest overnight, sleeping in turns. Reed kept watch while Maya read through more of the journal. When the sun rose, they hit the road again. Fort Harland was a 5-hour drive, but Reed knew they couldn't walk in. Not without causing waves, though. They didn't go to the base. They went to a diner 5 miles out, a known meeting place for off-duty officers. Reed made a few calls using a burner phone. No names, just a location and a time. At 2:47 p.m., a man entered the diner, late 40s, thick beard, still walked like a soldier. He spotted Reed immediately and froze mid-step. Then he walked over and sat across from him. Commander, Captain Jonas. Deeks turned to Maya. You must be the sister. I'm Maya. He looked at her with something like regret, then looked away. You shouldn't be here, Deeks said. You shouldn't be digging. She deserves the truth, Reed said. The truth. Deeks let out a cold laugh. There is no truth, not in this business, just pieces of it. Trident, Dizanavi, Maya said softly. Deeks stopped. His expression hardened. I don't know what that is. Don't lie to me, Maya said, her voice sharper now. My brother died. For something. He warned you. He trusted you. And you let them erase him. Deeks' eyes flicked toward the window, scanning the parking lot. Then he leaned in close. He came to me 2 days before we deployed. Said he intercepted a signal about a weapons transfer. Not enemy, ours, but illegal. He glanced around again, then continued. He wasn't supposed to hear it, but he did. He told me about Trident 19 and said someone in our own ranks was working off book. He planned to report it when we got back, but we never did. Who set the ambush? Reed asked. I don't know, Deke said. But someone knew we were coming, and they didn't want Eli leaving that jungle alive, Maya whispered. You left him. Deke's face cracked. I begged Reed to go back for him. We all did, but the chopper was full. Radio went dead, and someone ordered a blackout. That's when I knew. We were being erased too. Reed stood up. We need names. I can't give you that, but I can give you this. Deke slid a keycard across the table. Plain black stripe. No label. Storage facility, locker 118. Only thing I kept. Reed pocketed it. If this leads nowhere, it will, Deke said. But be careful. Trident 19 has eyes everywhere. They left the diner quickly. Maya kept looking over her shoulder. For the first time, she realized this wasn't just about her brother. It was bigger. Much bigger. The storage facility was located in an industrial part of the city, hidden between old warehouses. No windows, no cameras. Reed used the key card. The lock clicked. Inside locker 118 was a steel box, no bigger than a shoebox. Reed opened it slowly. Inside was a single cassette tape labeled APCHOEGEG. Maya whispered. Eli, Graves had to find a way to play it. Reed found a tape player from a local pawn shop and returned to the SUV. They plugged it in, rolled up the windows, and hit play. At first, static, then a voice, faint, strained. If you're hearing this, then I'm probably gone. My name is Private Eli Graves. This is a record of Operation Echo, also known as Trident 19. We were told we'd be taking out a weapons cache used by insurgents, but what we found was different. There was a pause. There were American crates, labeled with numbers I didn't recognize, and men guarding them, not locals, our own in uniforms, but they weren't ours. No flags, no names. More static. Then panic in his voice. I tried to call it in. Signal was jammed, I told Deeks. He believed me. The others didn't. I think someone heard us. I think they're following me. I'm going to bury this tape. If someone finds it, tell Maya. I love her, and tell the commander, the man in the shadows, he was right beside us. The tape ended. Silence. Maya's hands were shaking. He was scared. He knew they were coming. Reed stared ahead, jaw clenched. The man in the shadows. Right beside them? Someone on the team, he said. Not just above you, among us. That means... Maya's voice broke. Someone close. Reed started the engine. We're going back to base. They returned to a secure location. Reed had access to an old seal safe house, buried behind concrete and forest. As soon as they entered, Reed pulled out an old mission log. It listed every member of the team, every move they made, every message sent. He looked for anything, any small detail out of place, and then he saw it. A COMM line marked Private Secure Uplink, opened during the ambush. Location not registered. Sender anonymous, but the recipient was flagged. HQ Black Echo. Reed's face went pale. Black Echo, that's a ghost network, only used by deep intel units, Maya said. So someone in our unit had access to it. Worse, Reed said. Someone in our unit worked for it. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She sat by the window of the safe house staring into the dark trees, her mind swimming with pieces of a puzzle she barely understood. Her brother wasn't just a soldier, he was a whistleblower, a witness. And now, she had become his voice. She opened the journal again, flipping to the final page. It was mostly blank, except for a sentence. If you find the commander, trust him, but only him. And beneath it, a number string, coordinates. She typed it into her phone. It pointed to a location off-grid deep in the Nevada desert, far from anything. She showed it to Reed. He nodded slowly. That's where this ends. Just as he spoke, the power in the safe house flickered, then cut out. Total darkness. Reed reached for his weapon. Stay behind me. A sound outside like footsteps on gravel. He moved silently to the door, motioned for Maya to stay low. Through the window, a black SUV rolled up. No lights, no plates. Men stepped out, dressed in black, faces covered. Maya whispered, they found us. Reed loaded his sidearm. Time to disappear. They exited through a hidden escape tunnel, the same one used during old Cold War drills. Reed knew every inch of it. Maya followed close behind. As they crawled through the narrow stone shaft, Reed whispered, we're not running. We're moving forward. Maya asked, where are we going? He looked at her. To the place Eli wanted us to see. The tunnel led them to a ridge beyond the safe house. They watched as the building below was silently breached. No gunfire, just quiet movement, precision. They're not here to arrest, Reed said. They're here to erase. Maya watched in horror. Eli died for this, she said, and they're still trying to hide it. Reed looked at her, eyes filled with something deeper than anger, something personal. Then let's make sure. They never can. As the sky began to turn from night to early blue, they vanished into the trees. 2 names on a growing list of secrets someone wanted buried. But this time, the truth wasn't dying in silence, it was just beginning to speak. The sun rose slowly over the ridge as Maya and Reed hiked through a narrow trail in the forest. Neither of them had slept, Their boots crunched against the dirt, and birds chirped in the distance, completely unaware that people had come in the night to destroy a piece of the truth. The safe house was gone, taken, wiped clean. Maya walked in silence, her eyes red but dry. She wasn't the same girl who stood in the crowd 2 days ago. She had her brother's journal zipped safely into her jacket. Every page now felt like weaponed words that could destroy powerful men. But she still didn't know who to trust. Except for Reed. Her brother had trusted him, and now she understood why. He hadn't run, he hadn't silenced her. He had helped her stand up after hours of hiking. They reached a dirt road where Reed had left an emergency vehicle years ago, hidden under a camo tarp and branches. It was old, but the engine started on the 3rd try. Reed drove. They didn't speak much until they were back on the main highway, heading west. "We'll stop for fuel in 2 hours, Reed finally said. "We keep moving. No hotels, no cards, no phones." "I know," Maya said quietly. "You handled yourself well back there." She didn't answer. Her mind was somewhere else. "In the past, my brother used to write stories when we were kids," she said after a while. "We'd sit in the dark and make up spy tales. He'd always make me the hero, said I had the mind of a detective." Reed gave a faint smile. He wasn't wrong. "I just wish I'd listened sooner." They drove through open country, empty, fields stretching for miles. As they crossed into Nevada, Maya looked down at her brother's journal again. The coordinates he left pointed to a place outside a town called Silver Ridge, a desert ghost town with no official population and no phone signal. They arrived late at night. Silver Ridge looked like a memory that refused to fade. Broken down buildings stood on either side of a dusty main road. An old saloon, a collapsed church, a few homes, their roofs fallen in. But it was the silence that chilled Maya most. No wind, no life, just stillness. Reed parked the vehicle behind a ruined post office. He looked at the coordinates again. "We're 2 miles off. The site should be underground. There's a canyon north of here. That's where we'll start." They moved under cover of darkness, using night vision goggles Reed had pulled from the trunk. The canyon was narrow, its cliffs steep. At the base, they found something unexpected, a man-made steel door, built into the rock. No lights, no locks visible. Maya's breath caught. "This is it, isn't it?" Reed examined the door. "This wasn't built for locals. This is military grade." He pulled out a small code device and attached it to a side panel. Numbers flickered, beeping echoed through the canyon walls. Then click, the door slid open, slow and silent. They stepped into darkness. Reed used a handheld light to scan the narrow hallway. Everything was coated in dust, but the air smelled clean to Walls were lined with metal. Ahead the hallway split into 2. Maya hesitated. "Which way?" Reed pointed right. "We follow the airflow. If there's power, it'll lead us to it." They moved slowly, their footsteps soft. Then they found it. A control room, mostly intact. Computers, monitors, a table of documents burned at the edges. In the center of the room sat a large glass display, covered in dust, but under the grime. Maps and heat signatures were frozen on the screen. "This isn't just a base," Maya whispered. "It's a surveillance hub." Reed wiped the glass, and that he pointed to a blinking green light on the side means there's still power. He opened a panel and pulled a lever. The screen flickered to life. Old footage replayed. On loop military drops, coded missions, and finally, a folder marked Daki de Zanavi ECHO. Maya clicked it open. The first video showed a group of soldiers in a jungle. Their faces were hard to see, but she recognized one by his Walker brother. He held a small camera and spoke quietly into it. "This is Graves. Day 3 in recon. Found the site. Repeating site is active, not abandoned. Saw crates marked with dual symbols, one American, one unknown." The video cut to a brief shot of the crates. Maya leaned forward. "Pause it," she said. "Zoom in on that symbol." Reed froze the screen, a triangle with 3 marks beneath it. "That's the same symbol on the tape," she said. Reed opened another file. This one was labeled Operator Echo Redacted. It was a report, a mission log, and at the top, written in bold, Graves identified unauthorized assets. Subject attempted to extract, immediate termination authorized. Maya's eyes widened. "They ordered his death." Reed stared at the words in silence. "This was never an accident," he said. "They executed him." Maya turned away, covering her mouth. Reed found another file audio. Only a voice spoke clearly. "Asset Graves discovered site before full containment. Recommend field clearance. Disavow after action." "That's not just a cover-up," Maya whispered. "That's murder." Reed nodded grimly. "We take this to the right people, if any still exist." Just then, a loud clang echoed through the hallway outside. Maya froze. "What was that?" Reed shut the screens down and moved to the doorway. Gun drawn. Footsteps. Then silence. They moved carefully into the hallway, Reed leading. From the corner, a shadow moved. Reed fired a warning shot. "Step out. Hands up." A figure appeared, raised. No weapon. It was a woman, maybe in her 30s, dressed in dusty black gear. She looked at Maya, then at Reed. "You found it," she said. "Who are you?" "Name's Kara. I was part of the cleanup team. Years ago, you were part of Trident." Kara nodded. I didn't know what it was, not at first. They said we were destroying failed outposts. But then I saw the logs. The reports I ran. What? Come back now, Maya asked. Because you did, she said. And others are watching. They've been following your trail since the ceremony. Who are they? They don't have names, just missions. She tossed Reed a USB. That has everything I stole before I vanished. I've been hiding for 3 years. But I saw your face on the news, Commander, leaving a ceremony mid-ward. They knew something was wrong. Why help us? Maya asked. Because your brother saved me once. He didn't even know it. Kara's voice softened. He stopped a soldier from executing a local boy, said, "We're not murderers." That stuck with me. I knew when he disappeared. Something was wrong. Reed looked through the USB files. They matched everything they had plus more. Names, ranks, direct orders, even payment records. This is enough, he said. Enough to expose them. No, Kara said. It's enough to get you killed. Then what do we do? Maya asked. We go dark, Reed said. We gather more. Then we hit them where? It hurts public. Kara nodded. I know someone who can help. Ex-journalist. He's been tracking Trident since '08. They agreed to meet him at a motel 3 hours away. One that didn't ask questions. Kara would go ahead. Reed and Maya stayed behind to grab any last evidence. As they left the canyon, Maya looked back. This is where he died, isn't it? Reed nodded. Somewhere close. Maya dropped to her knees and traced the sand with her finger. She didn't cry. I'll finish what he started. Then they left. But someone else had been watching. A drone, silent in the clouds above, tracked their movement. Its camera zoomed in on Maya's face. A red light blinked and a message was sent. Target identified. Phase 2 approved. The desert wind rolled through the broken road as Reed drove through the night. Maya sat beside him, tired but alert, her fingers clutching the USB Kara had given them. It was everything they had fought to find proof, names, and reports. It held the truth that her brother had died for, and maybe it was the key to destroying everything Trident 19 had built in the shadows. The plan was simple. Meet Kara's contact, an ex-journalist named Liam Vonnet, a quiet roadside motel in Drywood Valley. It wasn't on maps. It wasn't near any military zones. No cell towers, no credit card machines. The kind of place no one looked at twice. The headlights cut across the desert flats. Maya spoke quietly. Do you think the journalist will believe us? Reed glanced at her. He's been chasing this story longer than we have. All he needs is the evidence. She nodded, eyes down. Then we give it to him. They pulled into the motel at 3:12 a.m. It was small, barely lit. The sign buzzed overhead. Vacancy. Kara's bike was already there. Parked near room 6. Inside the room, Kara stood near the window, watching the road. A man sat on the edge of the bed, mid-40s, worn jacket, thick-rimmed glasses. His laptop rested on the nightstand beside a steaming cup of coffee. Reed and Maya entered. The man stood up. Commander Reed Morgan, and you must be Maya. She nodded, studying him. Liam Vaughn. He smiled softly. Been waiting a long time to meet someone with answers? Reed pulled out the USB. These are the files. Reports, audio logs, internal orders, all linked to Trident 19 and Operation Echo. Liam inserted the drive into his laptop. His eyes moved quickly across the screen. Maya watched him, her chest tight. Minutes passed in silence, broken only by Liam's sharp intakes of breath. My God, he whispered. This is a kill order. On American soil. He clicked again. This payment trail goes straight to a company called Orvisk Dynamics. Military contractors, hidden under shell companies. They were moving weapons through jungle sites listed as abandoned. He looked at Maya. Your brother wasn't just caught in the middle. He was trying to stop them. And someone in command gave the order to remove him. Maya swallowed hard. Can we publish this? Liam hesitated. Yes, but it has to be done right. If we rush, they'll erase it. We need to leak it through multiple channels, with backups. Kara moved to the door. We don't have much time. They'll be tracking us. They already are, Liam said. He turned his laptop around. On the screen was an incoming ping, a location trace. The motel? Their motel. They've found us. Reed was already at the window. In the distance, 2 black SUVs were approaching fast. No lights, no license plates. He turned to the group. Get everything. We move now. Liam yanked the USB, slipped it into his coat pocket. Kara grabbed her backpack. Maya moved quickly, heart pounding. As they left the motel room, gunshots cracked through the night. Reed pulled Maya to the ground. Down. Kara returned fire, ducking behind the wall. Liam ran for the car, but was tackled by a dark figure. No, Maya shouted. Reed fired 3 precise shots. The figure collapsed. Liam scrambled to his feet, holding the USB tightly. They piled into the SUV. Tires screeched. Bullets hit the rear window, cracking it, but not breaking through. Reed drove fast, swerving onto the dirt road. Lights off. Behind them, the black SUVs gave chase. We need a diversion, Kara shouted. Reed nodded. There's a canyon ahead. If we can lose them in the dust, we might disappear. He turned hard, the vehicle skidding over gravel. The other cars followed, but visibility was low. Rocks flew up behind them. Maya looked back and saw one of the SUVs slam into a boulder, flipping violently. Got one, she said, but the second car was still close. Reed gritted his teeth. Hold on. He drove straight toward a narrow pass between two cliffs. At the last second, he turned sharply and cut the lights. The SUV slid behind a rock ledge and stopped. They waited in silence. The chasing car roared past the cliffs. Missing the turn, Kara exhaled. We're clear. For now. Reed didn't relax. They'll regroup. Liam looked at Maya. We need to split. If they catch all of us, the story dies. No, she said. We stay together. You don't understand. This isn't just news anymore. This is war. We leak this now. Someone will kill a dozen people to cover it. But if I vanish, go underground, I can feed it out in parts. Drop it to trusted networks, rogue hackers, whistleblowers. No one will know where it started? Maya shook her head, eyes filled with fear. You're asking me to let you take the only proof we have and disappear? Liam looked at her softly. I'm asking you to finish what your brother started. Reed placed a hand on her shoulder. It's the right call. Let him go dark. We stay loud. We make noise. We draw the eyes. Maya stared at the USB. She hated it. Hated how such a small object held so much pain. She handed it over. Liam nodded. You're brave. He would be proud. Then he was gone, disappearing into the desert on foot. The next 3 days were chaos. Reed and Maya changed cars twice, moved from town to town, always staying 2 steps ahead. Kara broke off to meet another contact who had photos from the jungle site. They planned to regroup in a city where their faces would blend into the crowd, but that never happened. On the morning of the 4th day, Maya woke up in a small cabin outside a lake town. Reed was gone. The note on the table said, meeting contact, back in 2 hours. Stay inside, lock the door. She waited. 3 hours passed, then 4, then a knock at the door. She froze. She checked the clock. 6 hours since Reed left. Another knock. Maya, a voice said, it's me, but it wasn't Reed. She moved to the window, heart racing. Man stood outside, tall, clean-shaven, suit and black glasses. No military gear. I'm from National Security. You're not in trouble. I'm here to escort you to Commander Morgan. She didn't move. Where is he? He's in custody. Voluntarily surrendered for questioning. He asked for you. She opened the door slightly, enough to look at him. Show me ID. The man didn't hesitate. He pulled out a badge. It looked real. Too real. Maya hesitated. Then her instincts screamed. She slammed the door shut and ran to the back exit. Grabbed her bag, the journal, the burner phone. Her legs carried her down a dirt path, into the woods. Behind her, she heard the door break open. Stop, the voice shouted. But she didn't. She ran. Branches hit her arms. Her lungs burned. She didn't care. Somewhere behind, footsteps followed. 1, maybe 2. She ran until her feet slipped on a slope and she rolled down into a small ravine. Her body hit the ground hard. Everything went dark. When she opened her eyes, she was lying in a dark cave. Someone had pulled her in. Someone had placed a cloth over her forehead. A figure sat by the entrance. She sat up, groaning. Reed. The figure turned out it wasn't Red Dot, it was Kara. You're lucky I was nearby, Kara said. I've been tracking your phone since you went quiet. The man who came for you, he's not National Security. He works for Orvisk. Where's Reed? Maya asked. Kara looked away. I don't know. Maya's heart broke. You think they got him? I think he let them. Why would he do that? Because he's protecting you. Maya stared at the cave wall. She felt helpless. She had come so far, lost so much, and now she was alone. Again, she clutched her brother's journal. I'm not giving up. Kara placed a hand on her shoulder. Then let's finish it. The next morning, Kara took Maya to a hidden location deep in the mountains. A satellite terminal, old, abandoned, but still functional. They uploaded everything they had, to trusted sources, to rogue media, to whistleblowers, within hours. The files began to spread, and by nightfall they had gone viral. Operation Trident 19 was trending worldwide. Hashtags flooded social media. Veterans spoke out. Retired officers shared memories. Anonymous accounts posted documents matching the ones Maya had carried. And then, a video was leaked. A surveillance clip from the jungle base. Maya's brother, Eli, stood in front of a camera. This is Private Eli Graves. If you're watching this, it means I didn't make it. But that doesn't mean they won. You deserve to know the truth. This war isn't about freedom, it's about profit, and I won't die silent. Maya watched it with tears in her eyes. It was him. His voice, his fire, and the world heard it. But just as the truth spread, a new message appeared. A photo of Reed in handcuffs, face bruised, held inside an unmarked van. Below it, one sentence. You're next. Maya sat in silence, the glow from her brother's video still burning on the screen. Eli's voice echoed in her mind. This war isn't about freedom, it's about profit, and I won't die silent. The world had seen it now. Millions had watched. The video hashtags exploded online. Protests sparked in cities. Retired military officers started speaking up. But none of it brought peace to Maya, because Reed was gone. Captured, and they had sent a message. You're next. She stared at the photo, his bruised face, the cuffs digging into his wrists. And that unmarked Vanyo insignia, no license plate, just silence. She whispered his name. Reed. Kara stood nearby, arms crossed, silent. They're trying to break us, she finally said. They want you to back down. They don't care if the world sees it, they just want to make you afraid. It's working, Maya whispered. Kara knelt beside her. Maya. Reed didn't run. He gave himself up to protect you. Don't let that sacrifice go to waste. Maya clenched her jaw. Her eyes filled with tears, but they didn't fall. She had cried enough. Now it was time to fight. What do we do next? She asked. Kara handed her a small envelope. Inside was a key and a set of GPS coordinates. What is this? Something Reed prepared a long time ago, in case he ever disappeared. Maya looked at her, confused. He knew this might happen. Kara nodded. He always had a backup plan. They traveled by night, using back roads. The GPS led them deep into the forest outside Nevada. After several hours, they reached an old trailer hidden behind rusted gates and fallen trees. The area was covered in leaves and dust as if no one had touched it in years. Maya used the key. Inside. The trailer was quiet, cold, and full of dust. But every item was neatly arranged: maps, notes, surveillance photos, a hidden operations base. Reed had built this place in secret. Kara turned on a lamp. Maya walked slowly, taking it all in. There was a corkboard on the wall covered in red strings and old photographs. Faces, places, and one word circled in red at the center. Victor. Rylan. She stared at the name. Who is this? Kara's face darkened. That's the man behind Triton 19. He's not just a contractor. He used to be military intelligence. Now he runs Orvisk from the shadows. He's the one who gave the kill order on your brother. Maya clenched her fists. Where is he? No one knows. He's like a ghost, always one step ahead. But this... Kara pointed to the board. This was Reed's way of getting closer. They searched the trailer for hours. Inside a locked drawer, Maya found a small notebook. Handwritten notes from Reed: plans, contacts, meeting logs. But something else caught her eye. A single page with only 5 words. If they take me, go. And beneath it, he's not untouchable. Find her. Find who? Maya asked. Kara looked confused. I don't know. Maya turned the page. There was a photograph, faded, slightly torn. A woman in military uniform, standing beside Reed, smiling. Her name written on the back, LT Amy Rains. Maya read the note below the name, discharged. Witnessed the operation, last known Anchorage. She knows something, Maya said. Kara nodded. Then she's our next step. They boarded a night flight under fake names, avoiding all digital tracking. Every move was quiet, Maya knew. The more public she became, the more she risked not only her life but Reed's. In Anchorage, the cold bit at her face. Kara had arranged a quiet car rental. They drove to an old trailer park on the edge of a frozen lake. Maya knocked on the door. Silence. Then the door opened slowly. A woman in her early 40s stood behind it. Her hair was tied back, face pale, and her eyes sharp. Who are you? Maya held up the photo. You knew Commander Reed Morgan. The woman's face went stiff. Go away. We need your help, Maya said quickly. Reed said you witnessed what happened. He left your name in a journal. The woman didn't respond. Kara spoke. Victor Ryland is still active, and Maya's brother died trying to stop him. That name Ryland seemed to break something. The woman opened the door wider. Come inside. Inside. The trailer was neat but empty. No photos. No signs of life. I left the world behind, LT Rains said. After the jungle mission, I couldn't take it. I left the service. Changed my name. I didn't want anyone finding me. Maya sat across from her. What happened there? Rains hesitated. We were told it was a recon mission. Quiet, no contact. But when we got there, the base wasn't abandoned. It was being used to move weapons. By our own men. Contractors, Orvisk. I saw soldiers I knew helping them. She paused, and then we saw Eli. Maya froze. You saw him? Rains nodded slowly. He was being held in a small shack near the jungle edge. He had taken a photo of the cargo manifest. They were going to kill him quietly, make it look like an accident. Maya's breath caught in her throat. I tried to intervene. Rains continued. Reed did too. But the kill order had already been issued. Reed saved me. He took me out in a chopper and told me to disappear, and Rylan, he was there. Not in uniform, but he gave the order. I heard him, I saw his face. Would you testify? Kara asked. I've kept quiet for years, Rains whispered, but if Reed is gone, I owe him everything. She handed Maya a USB drive. It's not much, just a voice recording. I kept it. I didn't know what to do with it. Maya took it with trembling hands. They left the next morning. Back in the trailer. They played the file. A voice echoed through the small speaker. Mail, cold. No witnesses. We can't afford another leak. Terminate the private. Burn the files. Then, another voice. But sir, he's just a kid. You heard me. Make it clean. Maya's hands shook. It was Ryland, his voice, his words. They had him, proof. Kara backed up the file and sent it to their journalist contact. Liam. Within minutes, he replied. This changes everything. The file's real. Voice print matches Ryland's. Military records. We're releasing it tonight. Maya smiled for the first time in days. But the smile didn't last. An alert flashed across her phone. Breaking news. She clicked the video. Rogue commander found dead in interrogation cell. Report claims suicide. It was read his photo. His name. Gone? No. Maya whispered. She dropped the phone. Fell to her knees. Kara stepped back, eyes wide. They lied. Maya said. Broken. They killed him. Kara whispered. The world had the truth now, but Maya had lost everything. Her brother now read. Everything felt cold. Then another alert pinged. A new message. No sender. No trace, just a line of text. You really think this is over? And attached was a live video feed from a dark cell. Read. Bruised. Bloody. Alive. Maya gasped. He's alive. Kara leaned in. How? The message flashed again. Bring the original files. Come alone, or he dies for real. Maya stared at the screen, and in that moment, she knew what she had to do. Maya stared at the screen. Reed's face bruised, blood on his cheek, tied to a chair flickered through the grainy feed. But it was him, breathing, alive. Kara moved closer, silent, trying not to shake. How is he still alive? They declared. Him dead. Maya read the message again. Bring the original files. Come alone, or he dies for real. She turned to Kara. They faked his death so we'd stop looking. They wanted you to relax, Kara said. To feel pain. To let go. They didn't count on this video leaking. No, Kara said. They messed up. This was personal. Maya stood still, her heart pounding. She could feel the heat in her chest, grief, anger, fear all crashing together. They're using him as bait. Of course, Kara said. They want the original files. The ones Reed hid, the ones your brother never handed over. Maya looked toward Reed's backpack, which had been sitting untouched since they left the bunker. Inside, hidden under the liner, was a small waterproof hard drive, the original evidence. Files from the jungle base, videos, documents, GPS, logs, names, all untouched, unedited. This was what they were after. The truth, the real truth. Kara shook her head. We can't give them that. I'm not letting Reed die, Maya said. And if you go alone, they'll kill you both. Kara whispered. Maya looked at her. I have to try. Silence. Then, Kara said, then I'm not letting you go alone. Maya's eyes softened. They said come alone. Kara placed her hand on Maya's shoulder. Then we'll make them think you did. That night, the two of them began planning. They watched the video frame by frame, analyzing shadows, sounds, even temperature, the humming of lights, a low rumble, possibly a generator. Kara's contact ex-NSA analyst, named Vincent joined the call from a secure line. The room he's in, I ran audio scans. Background noise points to a decommissioned Navy hangar, maybe East Coast, possibly somewhere off the mainland. That hum? It's a naval-grade generator. Rare. What about tracking the feed? Maya asked. Vincent sighed. Whoever sent it scrubbed the metadata. No IP trail, no bounce logs. This wasn't amateur. So, we're blind, Maya said. For now. But there's one way to force them to reveal a location. Kara nodded. Let them think Maya's coming alone with the files. Maya swallowed hard. And what if they shoot me on sight? Vincent answered calmly. Then you better not walk in without backup. They needed help, but they couldn't go to the military or the government. The people involved in this were too deep, too protected. So they turned to someone else. Someone Red once trusted. His former SEAL teammate, Nate Ellison. He was living off-grid in Montana, rarely spoke to anyone, and hadn't answered Reed's calls in 2 years. But now, he picked up. On the first ring, when Maya told him what happened, he didn't hesitate. I'll be there by morning. The team met at a safe house in Virginia. Nate, Kara, Maya, and Vincent. The plan was simple but risky. Maya would carry a fake hard drive into the meeting spot. Kara would tail her at a distance. Nate and Vincent would monitor with drones and signal jammers. If something went wrong, they'd strike. But first, they needed to confirm Reed's exact location. Vincent worked through the night, isolating sound signatures from the video. By dawn, he had something. I found it, he said. The exact hangar? It's in the Carolinas. An abandoned naval base shut down 12 years ago. He showed them the satellite image. It matched. They must have taken over the whole place, Kara said. Nate smirked. Perfect for ghosts. Like them? Maya took a deep breath as they approached the perimeter. The sun was beginning to rise. The sky a soft gray blue. The old naval base stood in the distance, surrounded by chain-link fences, barbed wire, and rusted metal gates. Vincent stayed in a van nearby, controlling a small surveillance drone that buzzed overhead. Kara wore civilian clothes, a long-range scope on her shoulder. She climbed a ridge above the base. Nate stayed close, hidden in the tree line, earpiece in, eyes sharp. Maya wore black, the fake drive tucked inside her jacket. No weapons, just hope. The message had given her one instruction. Enter the south gate, walk alone, no sudden moves. She walked. The wind tugged at her hair. Each step felt heavier than the last. As she reached the gate, it opened slowly. No sound, no one in sight. She stepped inside. The world felt quiet. Then a voice spoke through a speaker. Keep walking. Building 3. Maya followed the broken path toward an old warehouse. Her heart raced. She could feel Kara's eyes on her from above, and Nate's calm voice whispered in her earpiece, "We've got you. Keep moving." The warehouse loomed ahead. She stepped inside. A dim light flickered overhead. Shadows moved in the corners, and then there he was. Reed tied to a chair, bloodied, weak, but alive. He looked up, eyes wide. Maya? No. She ran forward, but before she could reach him, 5 armed men stepped from the shadows. Guns raised. One of them stepped forward. No mask, tall, cold eyes. Victor Ryland. So this was him. He smiled. "You've caused quite a mess, Ms. Taylor." Maya didn't speak. He gestured. "The files." She held up the fake drive. He took it and handed it to one of his men. They plugged it into a laptop. "Scan it," Ryland ordered. Maya waited. 10 seconds passed. "Looks clean," the man said. Ryland smiled. "Good. We'll kill her quickly then." Maya's eyes widened. "You said I lied," Ryland said simply. He raised his gun, but before he could fire, a deafening explosion shattered the windows. Smoke flooded the room. Kara's voice screamed in her earpiece. "Go!" Gunfire exploded from the rafters. A drone crashed through the ceiling, dropping FLASHBANGS. Nate charged in through a side door, taking down 2 guards with brutal speed. Maya rushed to Reed, cutting his ties with a knife hidden in her boot. He fell into her arms. "I thought you were in no time," she said. "Can you walk?" "Barely." She helped him up. More gunshots. Ryland escaped through a back door, disappearing into the smoke. Nate grabbed a wounded guard and dragged him toward the exit. "Move." They ran. Explosions behind them. The base collapsed in chaos, but they made it out. Reed bleeding but alive. Maya, tears running down her face. Kara, limping but smiling. Nate, quiet, checking every shadow. Vincent's van sped off into the trees. They had survived. Back at the safe house, Reed lay on a couch, bandaged and resting. Maya sat beside him, holding his hand. "You came," he whispered. "You think I'd let them take you?" He smiled weakly. "You're your brother's sister, that's for sure." Nate entered the room. "I got what we needed," he said. Maya looked up. He dropped a tablet on the table. A camera feed. Ryland escaping the base. But this time, they had his face full clear, on tape, and more documents from his private laptop recovered during the fight. Vincent sent the files to trusted contacts in 3 major news networks. It was only a matter of time. Ryland couldn't run forever. But that night, as the team finally rested, Maya received another message. No sender, no text. Just one image. A new photo. This time, it wasn't red. It was her mother, tied to a chair, tears in her eyes, and below it, just 4 words. One family, one warning. Maya stared at the screen, her breath caught in her throat. She thought it was over, but it was just beginning. Maya couldn't sleep. She kept staring at the image on her phone. Her mother, gray hair, kind eyes, now bruised and tied to a chair. A single light over her head. Shadow all around her. It wasn't just a warning, it was personal. Maya, Kara whispered as she walked into the kitchen. "You haven't moved in hours." "They have my mother." "I saw," Kara said gently. "Same background as Reed's video. Same lighting, same sound, but not the same place," Maya said. I looked closer. The ceiling. It's different. The shadows, wrong angle. Kara nodded slowly. "You think they moved her?" "I think they always had her," Maya said, her voice cracking. Kara blinked. "But you said your mom. She's been at the care center since your brother died." "That's what I thought," Maya whispered. "I haven't seen her since the funeral." Kara stared. Maya continued, her voice low. "They faked it. They replaced her. They've been watching me longer than I realized." That morning, the team met in the safe house basement. Vincent paced as he scanned the metadata from the image. No GPS data, no timestamp, completely scrubbed again. "But there must be something," Nate said. Vincent nodded. "One thing, I boosted the image. There's a blurry shape in the corner. Looks like a patch military maybe." He enlarged it. Kara leaned closer. "That's airborne. But the old version, which means," Maya asked. "It's not current, outdated. Only a few bases still use that design." Nate crossed his arms. "There's one in Alabama. Decommissioned but still has underground bunkers. I trained there once." Vincent's fingers flew across the keyboard. "I can get us the floor plan," he said. "But it's old. We'll need eyes on the ground." Maya stood. "I'm going." Nate shook his head. "Maya, you're exhausted. You just got Red back." "She's my mother," Maya said. "I let my guard down once. I won't again." Kara looked at her and then said, "Then I'm going with you." "No," Maya said. "I need you to stay with Reed. He's still recovering, and if I don't make it back—" "Don't say that," Kara said. Maya gave a small smile. "Just make sure he's safe." They flew low in a black helicopter Nate had borrowed from a retired contact. It was just Maya and Nate this time. The air was thick and humid. The landscape below them stretched wide trees, swamps, and scattered buildings from the past. They landed half a mile from the base. The sun was setting. Maya wore black again, her hair tied up. She carried no weapons, just a silent rage inside. Nate led the way, scanning every inch of the forest. "I can get you close," he said. But once inside, you're on your own. Maya nodded. Just get me to the door. They reached the back entrance and old maintenance shaft hidden under vines. Nate pried it open with a crowbar. It groaned, echoing like a warning. Maya crawled. Through the tunnel was narrow, cold. Dripping water echoed around her. It smelled of rust and old memories. When she reached the first hatch, she stopped at voices. Two men were talking. Orders changed. Keep her alive. For now, she doesn't even talk. She doesn't need to. She's leverage. Maya's fists clenched. Her mother was in there. She waited until the men walked away. Then she moved fast. Slipped. Through a side door. Down a metal hallway. Around crates and forgotten gear. Finally, she reached the door with the number C9. Took a breath. Opened it slowly, and there she was. Her mother, sitting still. Head tilted. Eyes closed. Mom? Maya whispered. Her mother blinked slowly, then looked up. Maya. Tears burst from Maya's eyes. She ran forward, untied the straps. I thought you were. I'm here, Maya whispered. I'm here. Her mother leaned against her, too weak to walk. Maya scanned the room. One exit. No windows. No windows. She pressed the cum in her ear. Nate. I found her. We're in room C9. Send help. But there was only static. Maya tried again. Nate. Nate. Do you copy? Still nothing. Her heart began to pound. Then she heard it. Footsteps. Many. Outside the door. She helped her mother up. Pushed a crate behind the door. She looked around. Nowhere to run. No vents. No escape. She clutched her mother tighter. I won't let them take you again. The door handle turned, then bang. The door burst open, sending the crate flying. Armed men poured in. Maya stepped in front of her mother, then a voice called out familiar cold. Hello again, Ms. Taylor. Victor Ryland. Alive. Smiling, not a scratch on him. Maya's blood turned to ice. You ran, she said. I repositioned. He replied, you're a monster. Ryland looked amused. No, Maya, I'm a patriot. What your brother did, what Reed tried to expose. That was treason. He told the truth, Maya said, voice rising. The truth is what we say it is, Ryland said, stepping closer. And now, you're going to disappear, just like him, just like your father. Maya froze. What? Ryland smirked. They never told you. He looked down at her mother. You never told her the truth, did you? Her mother's eyes filled with tears. Maya looked at her mom. What is he talking about? Her mother's lips trembled. Maya, your father. He didn't die in an accident. He was part of the project. He helped create the virus they tested. In the jungle, when he tried to stop it, they killed him. Maya stepped back. No. I thought I could protect you by hiding the truth, her mother said. But they always knew. That's why they watched us. Why they took me. Ryland grinned. Family secrets, huh? Maya's hands were shaking. You killed my father. I did what had to be done. Maya's mind raced. Too many truths. Too many lies. Then gunfire outside. Screaming. Explosions. Ryland turned. What? The hell boom. The back wall exploded inward. Smoke and light. And from the dust Nate, gun blazing. Maya pulled her mother to the floor. More shots. Kara's voice buzzed in her earpiece. We're in. Hold tight. Vincent had brought back up former SEALs who owed Red their lives. They moved like shadows, taking down guards with precision. Ryland tried to flee, but Nate tackled him to the ground. Rage in his fists. Maya pulled her mother into the hall. Kara appeared. Go helicopters outside. They ran, dodging gunfire, ducking behind walls, heart pounding in their chests. As they reached the tunnel exit, Maya looked back. Ryland was gone again, but they had her mother. And a new truth, her father, was part of it all. Back at the safe house, her mother lay resting. Reed sat beside her, holding her hand. Maya stood at the window, staring out at the trees. Kara walked up beside her. You okay? No, Maya said. But I'm not broken. Kara nodded. Ryland's still out there. And now I know why he's fighting so hard, Maya said. He's trying to erase history. Kara leaned closer. What now? We bring the truth to light, Maya said. All of it. But if you do, Kara said, you'll be hunted. Maya turned. I already am. That night, Maya opened the files her brother had hidden. Not just reports, videos, experiments, names. One document caught her eye. It wasn't signed by Ryland. It was signed by someone else. A name she hadn't heard before. Coll Whitaker, project architect. She froze. That name was on her birth certificate, not as a colonel, but as her godfather. Maya stared at the name on the document. Coll Whitaker, project architect. She blinked again. The handwriting matched. So did the signature. Her godfather, a man she hadn't seen since she was a child. The last time he visited, she was maybe 6. He brought her a carved wooden bear and whispered something to her mother in the kitchen. Maya remembered the tension, the way her mother closed the door after him and sat in silence for an hour. Now it made sense. He wasn't just a visitor. He was involved. Reed sat at the table nearby, running scans on the rest of the files. His face was pale, his hands shaking. This changes everything, he said softly. Maya nodded. If my godfather helped build the program, then he might be the last thread. Kara looked between them, but he disappeared years ago. Exactly, Maya replied. Right after Dad's funeral, Her mother had confirmed it that morning. Whitaker vanished with no goodbye, no forwarding address, no phone calls. Vincent joined them. I cross-referenced military retirement records. Whitaker is officially listed as deceased, died of cancer 7 years ago. Maya leaned forward. Officially. Vincent tapped a key. Unofficially. I traced a property purchase made under a false name 2 years ago. The signature is identical to this. He rotated the document, and the buyer, listed as Lawrence White. It's him. Reed frowned. Vince pulled up a map. A private compound, Montana, middle of nowhere. Maya clenched her jaw. Then that's where we go. Kara looked uneasy. What if it's a trap? Then we spring it, Maya said. I need answers. I need to know what he did to my father, what they did to all of us. The journey took nearly a day. They flew in at night, then drove an armored SUV through thick pine forests and snow-covered back roads. The cabin appeared just before dawn. It wasn't small. It was more like a fortress, high walls, barbed wire, cameras, at every angle. Vincent stayed behind with a drone, monitoring from a distance. Maya, Reed, and Kara approached on foot, no guards. No dogs. Just silence. Maya stepped up to the gate and pressed the buzzer. Nothing. She was about to knock again when the speaker crackled. Who are you? Maya looked straight into the camera. You know who I am? Uncle Lawrence. There was silence. Then the gate opened with a low buzz. Inside, the cabin was warm, but every wall was lined with books, monitors, and files. A fire crackled in the stone fireplace. And then, he walked in. Older now, gray beard, wrinkled skin, but the eyes sharp as ever. He paused in the doorway. Maya, she stiffened. You remember me? I remember everything. She stared at him. Then tell me why. Why did you disappear? Why did you lie about my father's death? Whitaker looked at her with sad eyes. I did what I thought would protect you. That's not your choice, she snapped. Kara stepped forward. Tell us about Project Vortex. We know you designed it. Whitaker sighed and sat down slowly. He motioned to the wall behind him. A screen lit up. Images filled it, told footage of jungle operations. Soldiers in hazmat suits, villagers collapsing. My job was to build weapons that ended wars, he said, quietly. But what we created in Vortex, it didn't just kill, it erased. Maya listened in silence. Whitaker continued, his voice heavy with regret. Your father didn't want any part of it. At first, he believed it was about disease prevention. Then he saw the field tests. Innocent people, whole villages. He paused, staring into the flames. When he threatened to expose it, they marked him. They made it look like a car crash. I wanted to fight back, but I had no power left. Maya's throat tightened. So you ran? Whitaker nodded. I took everything I could. Files, footage, names. I've been hiding ever since. Reed stepped forward. Then why didn't you help when they came after Maya? I didn't know, Whitaker said. I thought she was safe. That they forgot her. You were wrong, Maya said coldly. They never forgot. She tossed a photo on the table. Ryland, alive and smiling. Whitaker's eyes narrowed. He's still active? Yes, Kara said. And he's trying to restart Vortex under a new name. Whitaker stood up quickly. Then we don't have much time. They spent hours going over maps, files, and recordings. Whitaker handed Maya a small drive. This is the original protocol. The real virus. All test subjects, test locations, and top-level authorizations. This is the thing they killed. Your father over. Maya stared at it. Why keep this? Because one day, someone would come looking, he said. And they'd deserve the truth. Reed frowned. So what now? Whitaker turned to a monitor. Ryland's building again. But not in the U.S. I've been watching shipments, equipment, tools, and biomaterial routed through offshore labs. He tapped a location. An island in the South Pacific. Black Rock facility. Privately owned. No official ties. But Ryland visited twice in the last 6 months. Kara crossed her arms. And you think that's where they're hiding the new version of Vortex? Yes, Whitaker said. And if we don't stop them soon, they'll finish it. Maya looked at the screen. A storm was coming. Inside her heart, it already had. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She stood outside the cabin, staring at the trees. Whitaker walked up beside her, silent. I wish I could have saved your father, he said softly. Maya didn't respond. I was his best friend, he continued. He trusted me, and I failed him. She looked at him finally. Do you think he'd be proud of me? Whitaker gave a small smile. He'd be terrified for you. But yes, he'd be proud. Maya's eyes burned. I don't know how to do this anymore, she said. Every time I think we're close, it gets worse. Whitaker reached into his pocket. He handed her a small folded paper, a letter from her father. He wrote this the day before he died. Whitaker said, I've kept it all this time. Maya unfolded it, hands trembling, her father's handwriting. My sweet Maya, if this reaches you, I'm sorry. I tried to protect you. I tried to fix what I helped create. If you choose to fight, fight with all your heart. Don't let fear control you. Let truth be your weapon. I love you, always. Dad. Tears rolled down her cheeks. For the first time, her father's voice felt real again. She looked at Whitaker. Then we end this. The next morning they prepared for war. Whitaker gave them new intel coordinates, security layouts, ship manifests. Reed began gathering his old team. Vincent started encrypting and duplicating the files to multiple safe servers around the world. Kara checked weapons and supplies. And Maya, she sat quietly, reading her father's letter one last time. Then she folded it and tucked it into her jacket, not as a memory, but as a promise. Just as they were preparing to leave, Whitaker's drone picked up movement, a black SUV. Approaching fast, no markings. Too clean. Get inside. Kara shouted. Everyone ran for cover. The SUV stopped at the gate, then a single figure stepped out. Alone, Ryland. He stood calmly at the gate, looking straight at the camera, smiling. He held up a small device and pressed a button. Suddenly, every camera on the property went black. Maya's breath caught. Then, an explosion. From the east side of the cabin. Fire debris screaming. Maya grabbed her rifle. They're here. The explosion rocked the earth beneath their feet. Maya hit the ground hard, dust and debris raining around her. Flames lit the edge of the cabin. Kara dragged Reed away from a collapsing wall, blood on his forehead. Whitaker grabbed a rifle and kicked open a hidden panel behind the fireplace. Underground tunnel? He shouted. Go now. Maya helped Reed limp toward the opening. Kara covered them with her weapon drawn, eyes scanning the smoke. Outside, Ryland's men poured in. Black armor, visors silent, they moved like shadows through the trees. Whitaker slammed the panel shut behind them. The tunnel was tight and dark, but it led deep into the forest. No lights, just the sound of boots pounding the dirt and breathless panic. We need to split, Whitaker said. They'll follow the tunnel. Maya shook her head. No, we stay together. Kara looked back, face pale. We won't make it if we do, Reed groaned. I'll slow you down. No, Maya said firmly. You're not staying, but... He looked at her with tired eyes. Maya, go. I'll be right behind. 10 minutes later, the tunnel opened into the woods. Fresh air, cold and biting. Vincent's voice came through the coms. Multiple heat signatures closing fast. You've got 3 minutes at most. Kara helped Reed up the hill while Whitaker covered the back. Maya turned to help, and a shot rang out. Whitaker fell. Maya screamed. Blood spread across his shoulder. He gasped but waved her on. Go. She knelt beside him. No, not now. You promised. He grabbed her hand. The files. The truth. Get it to the world. Tears blurred her vision. She nodded. I'll come back for you. Then she ran. They reached the ridge where Vincent waited with an ATV. Maya, we don't have time. She loaded Reed on first, then Kara. Vincent looked at her. What about Whitaker? Maya turned her head, jaw clenched. We finish what he started. As they roared down the mountain path, Maya looked back. The cabin was burning, smoke rising like a dark ghost into the sky. Another home destroyed, another piece of her past. Gone. They regrouped in a small safe house across the border. Reed's wound was bad, but he stabilized. Kara patched him up in silence. Maya sat with Vincent, going over the files Whitaker gave her. Coordinates, personnel logs, genetic trial notes. But one name stood out. Project Revival, Phase 2 lead. Dr. Ilara Ryland. Maya's eyes widened. Ryland's daughter. Vincent raised an eyebrow. She's involved too. She's not just involved, she's running the second phase. Reed looked up weakly. Why her? Maya stared at the screen. She's not like him. She was brilliant, but she disappeared. After her mother's death, people said she left science. Or, Kara added, she went underground. Maya shook her head. This isn't just about power anymore. This is personal. She's trying to finish what her father started. And improve it. The next hours were tense. They hacked into secure feeds, traced shipments, reviewed encrypted blueprints. The island was the key. Black rock, a facility built to look like a research outpost. But underneath, labs. Cells. Test zones. Vincent pulled up a feed from a stolen drone. Look at this, he said. The screen showed a dark chamber with glass walls. Inside, humans, but their skin was different. Veins glowing faintly blue. They're testing on people, Kara whispered. Not just testing, Maya said, her stomach turning. They're changing them. That night, Maya stood alone on the rooftop. Wind howled. She held her father's letter in one hand, Whitaker's blood-stained watch in the other. Everything she loved had been taken, but not her voice, not her will. Tomorrow, they'd strike back. This time, with no holding back. At dawn, Vincent set the plan in motion. We don't have much, he said, but if we hit fast, we can get inside. Download the core data. Destroy the lab. Maya nodded. Kara packed explosives. Reed, still injured, refused to stay behind. If I'm dying, he said, I'd rather do it while fighting. Vincent smirked. I'll drink to that after we live. They boarded a stolen stealth craft and launched toward the Pacific. Clouds gathered above them. The ocean below was dark, and ahead lay the heart of the nightmare. By nightfall they reached the island. No guards at the docks, but it was too quiet. Too easy. Maya's instincts screamed. Trap, she whispered. They entered the lab through the lower access tunnel. What they found inside chilled them. Cages, cold steel tables, Wires running from human bodies to glowing machines. A child, barely 10, hooked to tubes, eyes wide, but silent. Maya's hands shook. What is this? She whispered. Kara's voice cracked. This is a slaughterhouse. Reed touched a screen. Vitals are stabilizing faster than human norms. They're enhancing them, making them immune to pain, to fear. Maya stepped back. This is what they wanted to do to me. Vincent found a server room and began downloading files, but just as he stirred, alarms blared, red lights flashed, and the voice echoed through the halls. Welcome back, Maya. Ryland. The doors slammed shut. Vincent shouted, it's a full lockdown. Maya drew her weapon. They knew we were coming. Screens lit up around them. Ryland's face, smiling coldly. You found my daughter, didn't you? He asked. She's quite talented. Maya clenched her teeth. You're sick. No, he replied. I'm a builder. I take broken things and make them strong, by destroying lives. By creating a new species. The doors behind them exploded. Soldiers poured in. But these weren't normal soldiers. They moved. Fast to natural speed. Glowing eyes. Silent mouths. Modify. Reed opened fire. Kara covered the flank. Maya turned to Vincent. Get the files and go. He hesitated. Not without you. Go. He nodded and ran. Maya turned back. Bullets flying. Reed dropped to one knee. Bleeding. Kara screamed. Pulled him behind cover. Maya faced the last attacker. He lunged. She raised her rifle. But he stopped. Frozen. His eyes flickered. Then he whispered, help me. Maya hesitated. He collapsed. Still alive. Still human. Kara stared. They're not all gone. Maya nodded, shaken. This isn't just war. It's rescue. They fought their way through the corridors, floor by floor. Voice came through the comms. Files downloaded. I'm blowing the backups. Do it, Maya said. We're heading to the main exit. Suddenly the floor shook. A deep rumble. Then a hiss. Gas. Green mist sprayed from ceiling vents. Kara gasped, pulling on her mask. But Red, he wasn't fast enough. He dropped to the floor, convulsing. Maya dragged him to a safe corner, pressed her hand to his chest. Stay with me. His eyes fluttered. Tell my brother. I tried. No, Maya whispered. Don't you dare. But his pulse weakened. Kara crouched beside her. Maya, she shook her head. We're not leaving him. But the gas kept coming, and the facility was collapsing. Vincent shouted, I've got a boat waiting. Now or never. Maya lifted Reed's body. Kara helped. They ran through the smoke. Gunfire behind them. The lab burned. Machines exploded. Children cried out as Kara shot open the cages. Go, she shouted. Run. The kids followed blindly, stumbling in fear. Maya held Reed close. He wasn't breathing, but she didn't stop at the dock. Vincent waited. The kids piled onto the boat. Maya laid Reed down gently. She pressed her forehead to his. I'm sorry. Then, as they sailed away, the island exploded behind them. A fireball lit the sky. Project Vortex was gone, but the price was heavy. Back at the house, silence fell. The children slept. Kara sat alone, staring at her hands. Vincent worked all night, sending the data to every major news outlet on Earth. Whistleblower, truth, proof. And Maya. She sat with Reed's dog tags, not speaking, just holding them, until dawn came. The world didn't sleep that night. Across every continent, screens lit up with headlines that felt too unreal to believe. Leaked footage, human experiments found in secret Pacific lab. Whistleblower exposes rogue SEAL. Commander's genetic project. Survivors speak. They tried to change what it means to be human. The video clips were undeniable. Children in cages. Human bodies pulsing with blue veins. Cold laboratories built under military watch. And in the center of it all was her face. Maya. The woman who had once been a forgotten orphan. The girl who had survived the trials. The rebel who escaped now. She was everywhere. News channels looped her interview. Her tattoo, the mark of the original experiments, was shown again and again. People asked, who is she? Why was she taken? And more importantly, how many others are out there? Maya sat in silence as Vincent clicked off the screen. Safe house felt smaller now. Too many eyes on them. Children slept in corners. Safe for now. But her heart wasn't quiet. Reed was gone, buried in a quiet spot near the riverbank. No name, just his tags and a stone. She had carved one word into it with her knife. Brother. Kara entered the room slowly. Maya, you need to see this. She followed her into the small hallway, where a television played the news. Not American. News. Global. From France. A soldier spoke. I remember the man with the scar, he said. He offered our unit money to turn over undocumented children. From Brazil, a woman whispered. They told me it was a medical scholarship, but my sister never came back. From Japan, I worked in the shipping yard. I saw crates, large ones, no labels, but they made noise. Like people. Maya gripped the wall. It wasn't just one lab. It wasn't just her. It was an entire system. Vincent dropped a flash drive on the table. There's more. Maya picked it up. What is it? An internal memo from the Department of Defense. Classified. Mentions Project Vortex. Yes, but also other sites. Europe, Africa, even North America. Kara's eyes widened. So this wasn't rogue? Vincent nodded. This was government-backed, at least in the early stages. Maya's chest tightened. Ryland wasn't a madman. He was a front. And now, Vincent said, someone else will replace him unless we burn the whole thing down. The next morning, the media storm reached its peak. Protesters flooded Washington. Families who had lost loved ones in training accidents demanded answers. The president gave a statement, short and stiff. We are conducting a full investigation into the allegations. Any illegal activity will be punished. But the world wasn't buying it. Maya stepped onto a public stage for the first time. Standing in front of a crowd in San Diego, behind her Kara, Vincent, and 3 of the rescued children, she wore Reed's tags around her neck. She took a deep breath and spoke. I was not born to be a soldier. I was made into one. Not by choice, but by force. A hush fell over the crowd. She continued. They took my name, my family, my body. They told me pain made me stronger. They told me fear was weakness, but they were wrong. She held up her arm, her tattoo, the mark of their project. I am not a number. I am not a weapon. I am someone's daughter. I was someone's friend. And now, I am someone's voice. Thunderous applause. But her words didn't end there. I know this goes higher. And I will not stop until every lab is shut down. Until every child is free. Until every person who let this happen stands before the world in chains. That speech broke the internet, but it also made her a target again. Later that night, Vincent returned from a meeting with a contact in D.C. They're scared, he said. Good, Maya replied. No, I mean it. They're really scared. They're trying to paint you as unstable. Some in the military are saying you're lying. Kara rolled her eyes. After all the footage we gave them? Vincent nodded. Doesn't matter. They'll twist anything. And Maya, they've put a bounty on your head. Maya leaned back, tired but unmoved. Then let them come. They moved to a new safe house this time. Underground. The kids were taken to a recovery facility overseas. Maya insisted on checking every security measure herself. She didn't trust anyone else. One night, a young boy named Liam clung to her shirt. Will you leave us? He asked. No, Maya said. Never. He looked down at her tattoo. Do I have one of those? She hesitated. Double quotes. Yes, but it doesn't define you. He nodded. I want to be strong like you. She smiled softly. You already are. The next turning point came with a knock on the door. Vincent opened it and froze. Standing there was a woman in a long coat, soaked from the rain. Sharp cheekbones, gray eyes, a scar on her jaw, and a small tattoo faded but visible, just like Maya's. Stepped into the hall. Their eyes met. The woman spoke. My name is Alara Ryland. Kara gasped. Vincent reached for his gun, but Maya raised a hand. Don't. Alara looked tired, worn down by years of silence. I didn't come to fight, she said. I came to stop it. Inside, Alara told them the truth. My father started Project Vortex. I tried to stop him. You vanished, Maya said. No, Alara corrected. I went underground. I've been helping victims escape for years, but I didn't have enough proof. Not until you leaked the files. Kara frowned. Why should we trust you? Alara opened a small notebook. Inside names, faces, coordinates. Because I built this list. These are the other labs. And if we don't shut them down now, someone worse will take my father's place. Maya looked at the list. Each name felt like a wound. Each lokasana, grave waiting to be filled. But she nodded. Then let's end it. They planned the final mission. 3 labs remained. The most secret. The most dangerous. One in Siberia. One in West Africa. One hidden in the Colorado mountains. Vincent called it the Trinity. Take out all 3, he said, and the network collapses. But if we fail, Kara added, they go deeper underground. Maya looked at them all. We won't fail. Alara looked at her, strangely soft. You remind me of someone, she said. Who? My sister. She died in the first phase. She had your spirit. Maya didn't speak, but in her heart, something burned. This wasn't just justice. Now it was legacy. That night, Maya sat alone with Reed's tags. She whispered, we're almost there. Then her cum buzzed. Vincent's voice shaken. Maya, it's bad. She sat up straight. What? They hit the safe house in Berlin. Toot. Survivors gone. All the files taken. Maya stood. They left a mark. He sent the image. A strange new symbol. Not Ryland's. Not the military's. Kara appeared beside her, staring at the screen. Ilara, she said. Does this mean anything to you? Ilara stepped forward slowly. Her eyes widened. Yes, she whispered. I've seen this before. Maya narrowed her eyes. Where Ilara looked at her. It was my father's last journal entry. He called it Phase 3. The room went silent. Vincent spoke. What the hell is Phase 3? Maya stared at the symbol, her stomach sinking. We're about to find out.